In today's reading, we are going to be looking at the rest of 2025 and what it has in store for you. So if you are curious about what is ahead, then stay tuned for these messages. We have 3 piles to choose from in today's reading, and they go as such. This card represents pile number 1. This card represents pile number 2. And this card represents pile number 3. If you already know exactly which pile is calling out to you the most, then you can go into the description box down below and click on the timestamp that you need. But if you are somewhat unsure about how to go about choosing the pile for you, then a few of my recommendations would be to try and ground yourself. Get yourself to this present moment as much as you can. You can do that by closing your eyes, taking a few deep breaths, and really tuning into what you are feeling in your body. How is it talking to you? What sort of sensations are coming up for you when you look at the piles again? Do you hear something? Do you see something? Do you get a special sort of sensation when you look at a specific pile? Trust your intuition and how that voice talks to you, however that may come about, and follow it. But as I also always say, please don't forget to use your discernment as you are listening to these messages. And without further ado, let's get into it. Hello and welcome to your reading, pile number 1. My name is Helen, and I am so grateful that you are here spending your time with me and watching this reading right now. So thank you so much for being here, and thank you for all the support that you have shown me and this channel. I truly appreciate it. But let's get straight to it. So you chose this card. We also have some pre-prepared oracle cards. We are going to be looking at those pretty much instantly, because today, especially if you are not new on this channel, you may already know that I usually start with the card that you chose and then look at the intuitive messages that I feel from that card, and then we get to the oracle cards to look at some more details about what is going on with you right now. But today we're doing things a bit differently, because this card actually has a message on the other side of it. So we are going to be keeping that message for the end of the reading. That is the last thing that we are going to be looking at to sort of wrap up this reading. So we are going to jump to these cards straight away. And these oracle cards with some mini tarot cards attached to them are going to tell us what sort of keywords are describing the 2025 that you have had up to this point. So there should be some messages that you recognize regarding what you have experienced in 2025 so far. So hopefully, as you listen to these messages, it should help you to understand whether you are watching the right pile or not. So let's see what sort of messages we have. Okay, so yeah, these tarot cards are so tiny, I have to be careful with those. Okay, so we have unlikely ally and the 3 of Cups. Discovery and the Ace of Wands. Choose your weapon and the Wheel of Fortune. Rivalry and the Queen of Wands. And finally, bittersweet with 10 of Coins. Okay. Pile number 1. Let's start with the first pair of cards here. We have the unlikely ally and the 3 of Cups. So one of the things that you may have experienced this year or in 2025, because I'm not sure when you are actually watching this reading, one of the things that you may have experienced is actually finding support in a place that you didn't expect to get it. With the 3 of Cups, it feels like there may have been several instances or several events where you have gotten together with people that uplift you in some way, or where there have just been some sort of social endeavors, social gatherings, and it feels like it is a larger group of people, and there is something that unites all of you. So maybe it is like a work thing, like a soiree, or like where you get together with colleagues and it's more of a corporate event like that, or whether it is just, getting together with loads of people that you know, and I don't know, maybe it's a reunion of some kind even for some of you. But it feels like whatever this event or maybe series of events has been, and I feel like if it has been multiple events, it is with the same group of people. So it feels like there is this continuity that is involved here. It seems like there has been a person who maybe you weren't that close with, but that you have become a lot closer with, or someone that you have discovered some sort of common ground with, or maybe a common interest. Maybe there is someone that you didn't really get along with too well, or maybe they would just, maybe they seemed a bit aloof or more distant and not as open and friendly as the other people in the group. But I feel like you may have discovered that they are actually a lot warmer, or like there is something that connects you two. So it feels like you may have discovered support from a person, or you may have gotten more close with a person that you didn't anticipate to get close with. And maybe this person, I don't know whether this is more of a specific message or not, but maybe this person that you didn't think either liked you, or that you just didn't, connect that much with, maybe that person actually vouched for you, or you found out that this person has vouched for you in some regard, or that they had your back in some instance. Maybe that is more of a specific message. Anyway, let's move on. We also have Discovery and the Ace of Wands. And what this pair is telling me is that this year, you may have discovered a passion of sorts, or some sort of hobby or interest that really sparked something in you. It could be something that you used to do at one point, or that you used to enjoy when you were younger, but maybe you have slightly, moved away from it, or you haven't had time to practice it or deal with it as much as you used to. But regardless of whether this is a completely new thing, or whether this is something that you have rediscovered for yourself, it has brought about some level of excitement and enthusiasm in you. I do feel most strongly that it is some sort of activity or some sort of interest. It doesn't feel like it's talking about a relationship necessarily. It doesn't seem to be, it doesn't feel like that to me. So yeah, maybe some of you, this again, maybe more of a specific message, but for some of you, this could very literally be some sort of sporting activity, or like an exercise type thing, or something to do with your health, something to do with physicality. That is what I'm feeling here, but again, it may be more of a specific message. Now, moving on, we also have Choose Your Weapon and the Wheel of Fortune. I do feel that this Wheel of Fortune is talking about you having experienced quite a lot of ups and downs, and maybe there have been a lot of unexpected situations where you have been tested or sort of put to the test regarding how you react to something. It does feel, because of this Wheel of Fortune energy here, that it's something repetitive. So it may be tied to a certain pattern of yours, maybe something that you have been aware of for quite some time, or maybe, again, I don't know, maybe for some of you, this is something that you have discovered about yourself, or you have realized that there is a pattern in you only this year. It may be more of a recent thing for some of you as well. But in any case, it feels like you have been put through some sort of situation time and time again in order to see how you choose to respond to that situation. And maybe some of you have actually broken the pattern this year, or you have finally, started acting in a different way when in the past you used to always kind of react or respond, or maybe you had a knee-jerk reaction to this thing, whatever this was, like this pattern or this trigger or habit or something like that. It feels like there is something about like repeating the pattern or doing something over and over and over again, like the same way, but it feels like something has shifted this year, and you actually, again, either you started recognizing that the pattern exists, or you have known about this pattern a long time and have now decided to change how you act or what you do when it comes to this pattern or habit. Now, this is an interesting pair. We have rivalry and this Queen of Wands. On the one hand, I do feel that this Queen of Wands energy could be yours in the sense that it feels like someone has challenged you to really stand up for yourself, or maybe there has been more of an intense sort of standoff energy or standoff situation between you and someone else. And so I do feel that the Queen of Wands is talking about you in the sense that you have had to, again, defend yourself or really stand up for yourself. But I do, in all honesty, feel that this Queen of Wands is more so talking about this other person, this person that is a rival of some sort, or who has challenged you in some regard. Now, because we are looking at some of the main things that have taken place for you this year, it does seem like it is more of a significant event or a significant dynamic, something that has stood out to you this year. And maybe this person is someone that has rubbed you the wrong way for a long time, but it feels like something again has come to a head in 2025 between you and this person. This Queen of Wands, it could be someone who is in a more of a superior position to you in some sense. So they may be a boss or a supervisor or a manager to you, or even if they are not like your boss in any sense directly, they could simply be someone that you work with, but who has more of an authority. But this Queen of Wands, in any case, feels like a very ambitious person. They don't have to be female, by the way, either. But they feel like they are quite, I want to say like pompous, or they feel very self-important. They may be someone who like boasts or is quite arrogant or has more of an intense energy, I feel like, and who may be somewhat hard to stomach, which is, I don't know, I honestly don't know why I'm feeling that way, because the Queen of Wands is coming out upright, and normally I love the Queen of Wands energy, but in this instance, there is something about feeling like too prideful or too over the top. Like they feel that they are better than other people. Like that sort of energy is coming through. And so, yeah, it may be that this year you sort of finally stood up to this person, or actually spoke out against this person, or again defended yourself or something like that. So it does feel like there has been more of a dramatic situation with this person, or maybe there was like this blow up energy, like a full-on argument or some sort of a bigger scandal or drama that involves this Queen of Wands person. And finally, we have this bittersweet and 10 of Coins combo. And with this, I feel like it's talking about some sort of moment or event that is tied to your family or your relatives or something like that. And it feels like there is something that is worth celebrating, or some sort of success that a family member of yours has experienced, or that has just brought about a positive turn of events for your family. But because of this bittersweet card, it feels like there is something attached to this success, something that is changing or something that had to be given up for this success or for this achievement or this upgrade or something. Maybe for some of you, the success or achievement that is somewhat bittersweet has something to do with your home or your family home. And maybe this is more of a specific message, but I do feel that for some of you, you may have gotten some sort of support or aid from your family members, but it feels like there is something like hooked to it, or there are like strings attached, where it's almost like, yes, you got what you wanted, or yes, you are being granted your wish or plea of some kind, but that there is something that you have to, again, either like sacrifice on, or something that you have to compromise on in order to accommodate the terms, or like, again, yeah, it feels like there is some sort of strings attached. Like it's not this clean, cut and dried thing that, okay, yes, you know, we're going to support you, or yes, we're going to, you know, give you this money, or you know, give you this support or whatever. It feels like, yes, you can have it, but we want something in return as well. Again, I feel like this is definitely more of a specific message, but for some of you, there may have been this instance with your family members where that has been the case. So yeah, I'm just going to leave it there. I hope that these messages about some of the more notable experiences you have had in 2025 so far, that these messages helped you to understand whether this is your pile, and if you did recognize yourself, if this sounded like the sort of events that you have gone through or that you have experienced this year, then stay tuned, because now we are going to look at what are some of the most significant events or themes that are still going to be coming up for you in 2025. So we're pretty much going to be doing the same sort of setup. We're going to get 5 oracle cards, and we're going to open those up with some tarot cards as well. So let's get all of the themes or events out first, and then look at the tarot. Okay, very interesting cards and energies coming out for you for the rest of 2025. And by the way, if you see some like scary or intimidating cards, please don't get stressed or freak out, because we're going to be talking about each of them, and don't jump to any conclusions. So yeah, let's just get straight to it. So the first combo, or the first sort of theme or event or topic that the rest of 2025 has in store for you is actually a really, really positive one, because what these 2 cards are telling me is that there is some sort of healing or positive turnaround regarding something that has been weighing heavy on you, or that you have had some difficulty processing. The 3 of Swords coming out in reverse is a very, very positive sign, especially with the 4-leaf clover here and the ladybug, which are also which are also signs, or why this whole card is associated with luck. The thing about the 3 of Swords is that it tends to be the sort of heartache or pain that is really intense, but that is more so in the moment. Now, because it's coming out in reverse, it feels like this thing is something that occurred in the past, something that you have already gone through, and that there is this positive healing that is taking place, or some sort of uplifting event, energy, or feeling that you get regarding this thing that has been weighing heavy on you. For some of you, maybe this is more of a specific message, but for some of you, if you have experienced disappointment or a sense of loss because of some sort of opportunity or something that you really yearned for, it feels like there could be something that you experience that is even better, or that you get a second chance at going after this thing that you lost out on the first time around. So yeah, it seems like there is going to be a lucky break that you experience during the rest of 2025. Now, we also have this combo over here. And this is telling me that there is going to be some sort of temptation or some sort of offer, possibly, that sounds a bit too good to be true. With the Ace of Swords, it's a clear indication that you're going to be presented with a situation where you have to maintain a cool, calm, collected sort of mindset, where you have to keep your wits about you and you have to keep a very rational attitude. Keeping a clear head, thinking things through with logic, with rationality, instead of getting swept up in the emotional aspect of it or allowing yourself to be emotionally manipulated in any way, because I do feel that that could very well be the case. There is something that just looks too good to be true, something that is very tempting, and I feel like it is going to be playing on your emotions specifically. I don't know whether it is an apology, whether it is a promise of some kind, whether it is an offer, something that feels like you can't refuse. But this Ace of Swords is giving you a bit of a heads up here, and it feels like it's going to be really important that you don't allow your emotions to start running the show, that you only focus on the facts, only focus on what you know and what is actually being said, like focusing on the words. I feel like there is something really important about listening to what is actually being said, because I feel like if you listen to this offer or proposal or apology or whatever it is, if you actually listen to the words, you can hear that the promise is kind of vague, or like it's full of air or something. Like there isn't that much substance behind it, and it isn't like there aren't these solid details to hold on to. It just feels like a beautiful marketing or sales story more than anything, but there isn't any, like there doesn't seem to be any facts backing this thing up. So if you ask for proof, if you ask for something more tangible, I feel like they won't be able to give it to you, and that is going to be your sign, or how you can recognize that this thing is just a puff of smoke, really. So yeah, be mindful of someone presenting you something that just feels like this beautiful, beautiful dream. Now, also, we have this kind of scary looking card over here, which features a crash. But the interesting thing is, and the reason why I also opened this card up with 2 tarot cards, is because we got the Lovers card and also this 9 of Cups that are clarifying this image. So it feels like there is going to be a situation that comes about really unexpectedly. Like that's what I feel that this crash is actually representing, that it seems to come about really suddenly, really unexpectedly. And with the Lovers and the 9 of Cups here, it feels like you are going to have to make a choice, or you may feel a very strong emotional pull towards something that feels like a dream come true, or that feels like a wish fulfillment of some kind. So even though the card looks a bit scary, because of the cards that are sort of opening that message up, it doesn't feel ominous or scary at all. It feels like it's just something that comes about suddenly, and something that is going to possibly make you feel quite explosive feelings. Like it seems to be bringing about a huge emotional wave in you, but it feels like it's a positive one, because again, we have this 9 of Cups here. So it's almost like it's something that brings about this wave of positive emotions, or wave of happiness or something. It seems to be, yeah, like a surge of joy that you're going to be feeling here. So yeah, keep your eyes open for that. I mean, we already got the sort of the lucky break coming your way, but it feels like there could be something else, and something that is completely unexpected, because whatever this first thing is, wherever like this lucky break comes about, because of this 3 of Swords in reverse, this is going to be kind of not like a really surprising thing to you, because it feels like it's a relief to something that you're already familiar with. But this seems to be like brand spanking new. Now, obviously, because life is never all that rosy, right? So we do have more of a tricky energy here too. We have this 5 of coins and the 7 of coins here as well to open up this kind of a menacing looking card. What I'm feeling here, especially with both of these cards, is that there could be an instance where someone that you thought you could rely on may disappoint you. I'm not saying that this is this huge like betrayal moment or something like that for you, but it just feels like, because of this 5 of coins, it feels like you are going to feel this sense of being let down, or like you are missing this level of support that you thought that you were going to have. And the reason why I say that you thought you were going to have it is because of this 7 of coins. It feels like there is something that you were almost waiting for, something that you were anticipating. But with the 5 of coins, it feels like it's not coming. Like there is this lack of whatever this thing is that you expected to have. Now, between these two cards, there is also the energy of the 2 of coins. And the 2 of coins feels like there is this whole situation is going to put you in a position where you have to adapt, where you have to be flexible, where you have to kind of let go of the original plan that you had in place and that you were kind of sold on. You knew how things were going to go, and you were ready for things to play out a certain way, but then it feels like there is going to be a shift in that plan, or like your plans are going to be sort of turned on their head a bit. So that is really mostly what I feel, is just that you are going to experience a situation where you have to be adaptable, where you have to play things around, where you have to, I almost want to say like rearrange certain things, or maybe even reallocate certain things. For some of you, this could very literally be something to do with money. Maybe like the salary that you were expecting is delayed for some reason, or you are getting less, a smaller amount of money than you thought that you were going to get, or something like that. It could very well be literally money because of this coins suit theme that we have here. But again, this is most likely more of a specific message. So I don't want you to worry in the sense that it doesn't seem to be anything too drastic. I just feel like this is Spirit sort of giving you again a heads up that is something that may come about, so that you would know, and maybe even kind of like prepare or pay extra attention to making sure that you have some sort of budget set on the side, or so that you have some sort of cushion to land on in case, something that you are banking on doesn't come through. Again, just to kind of prepare you. But the last message here, we have this High Priestess and this tree, and I actually feel something really powerful from this. I feel like one of the major things, it doesn't feel to be talking about a specific event of any kind. This feels like it's a bigger sort of energy, something that you may take away from this 2025. And it feels like there is just a lot of sort of wisdom, or this massive amount of spiritual growth that you are going to be going through in 2025, or that you're going to sort of leave 2025 with. There is this wisening and maturing, and there's something about rediscovering something deeper, or something more sacred and profound within you, because the High Priestess is a very sacred sort of energy and a very spiritual sort of energy. And this card too, it could be that you realize something very deeply profound about yourself, or even about your path, your life, or what you want to do in the future, or how you want to proceed, what sort of changes you want to make. There is some sort of realization that I feel that is going to occur, or that is going to happen. But again, it doesn't seem to be this like big, massive aha breakthrough moment. It feels like it's something that gradually builds up, and that like slowly and quietly becomes this deep knowing, just this thing that you know to be true for you. So I wouldn't be surprised if in 2026 you start making some some like big moves to bring about certain things that you have maybe only been thinking about, or only been dreaming about up to this point. So yeah, anyway, let's move on. Pile number 1. We are going to also throw some astro dice. This is going to be sort of the last part before we read the message behind this card. So these astro dice are going to be Spirit's way of saying what is the most important thing that they want you to focus on for the rest of 2025. Just to sort of, give you advice, kind of. So let's see what we have. Okay. So we have the 5th house, Pluto, and oh my God, I can't say it, Libra. With the 5th house, the planet of Uranus and the sign of Libra, it feels like Spirit wants you to, first off, stay very open-minded with the Uranian influence here. Stay very open-minded and be ready for unexpected situations, because with Uranus, you just never know what you're going to get. Uranus tends to sort of blow things up and bring about chaos, but it's always chaos that is necessary for something. It's the harbinger of change, but again, it's so that you wouldn't get stuck, so that you wouldn't get in a rut, so that things would move along the way that they need to. So stay open-minded, especially when it comes to how you deal with people and how you deal with, there we go, and how you deal with certain dynamics that you have in existence, right? Because Libra is a sign of relating to other people. And it's also a sign of like diplomacy and harmony and balance. So yeah, just keeping a sort of a fair-minded attitude and trying to think of a bigger picture, trying to do right by everyone and not just, following what you want to do, having this bigger or wider sort of landscape view in mind. But I also want to say, I do feel a bit of a justice sort of energy as well, that if you do make decisions, try to keep in mind the sort of long-term goals or long-term future visions that you want to bring about. Because I feel like making decisions very short-term or just simply following certain impulses, it may not bring about the results that you actually want. And also we have this 5th house here too. With this, I just feel that Spirit is saying to focus on like not taking life overly seriously, keeping a bit of a fun or lighthearted approach, because the 5th house is one of the most fun and exciting and enjoyable houses in the whole astrological wheel. And it's also a house of recreation and pleasure and hobbies and entertainment and all of that. So, allowing sort of life to surprise you, keeping an open mind and trying to do what's fair and what is right and what is best, not just for you, but for like the collective or the whole of the situation or the group or the relationship or whatever you are trying to decide on. So, okay, we are kind of done with the reading. The only thing that is left is to look at the message behind this card and see what sort of message you chose. Okay, we have sunset. Time here turns to release and unfurl. Old cords of pain fade as the sun's light burns. Oh, wow. I absolutely love... I'm going to actually show you the message. So I actually love that it's saying that old pains are going to be released. This feels like such a beautiful coinciding energy with this 3 of Swords in reverse. So yeah, actually I'm going to keep it like this. So yeah, wow, this feels like such a promising rest of 2025, pile number 1. I hope that you found these messages useful, and if you happen to watch it at the end of 2025 and you can actually give feedback on how the rest of the year or the end of the year or the latter part of 2025, how it turned out for you, whether any of these things resonated for you, please let me know in the comment section. It would be fascinating to know. But as always, thank you so much for spending this time with me. Let's see, actually, if you are still here, if you watch this thing all the way through, leave me a chocolate bar, actually. Leave me a chocolate bar emoji in the comment section so that I would know that you watched this thing all the way through and that you enjoyed these messages and that you had fun watching this. So yeah, I would love to connect with you in the comment section. But anyway, thank you so much. And as always, I hope to see you back on this channel for some more messages, more insight and more fun next Friday. But in the meantime, be good and take care of yourselves. Bye-bye. Hello and welcome to your reading, pile number 2. My name is Helen and I am so grateful that you are here watching this reading and spending your time with me. And I also want to say thank you for any support that you have shown me or this channel. I truly appreciate it. But let's get straight to the reading. So if you have watched my readings before, you may know that I usually look at the card that you chose, feel my way through it intuitively, and then get into the pre-prepared oracle cards to get a more detailed overview of what is going on with you. But today we are doing things a bit differently. So this card that you chose actually has a message on the other side of the card. And we are going to look at this message at the very end of the reading to wrap the whole thing up, okay? So we are actually going to jump straight to the oracle cards that are pre-prepared for this reading. And these oracle cards, which also have little tarot cards attached, are going to describe the experiences that you have already had in 2025 up till now. So some of the most important keywords or events, anything that you have gone through, we're going to look at those. And as you listen to these messages, it should be more easy for you to understand whether you are watching the right pile or not. So if you recognize yourself in these, it's a very good indication that this is the right pile for you. So let's see. We have confusion and the 4 of coins. We have knowledge and the Page of Swords. We have injustice and strength, death and the 2 of coins, and finally rescue and the 6 of swords in reverse. Okay, pile number 2, let's jump in and start with the first pair here. We have confusion and the 4 of coins. What I'm feeling with these 2 cards is that you may have experienced in 2025 a situation where there was some sort of conflict or misunderstanding regarding property of some kind, or possession or ownership, or maybe even like assets. But more strongly, I feel like there has been either like a debate or some conflict or confusion regarding like who owns what, or what truly belongs to whom. It's something to do with belonging and who truly has the right over something. So it can be something very tangible. Maybe this is some sort of inheritance issue, even although I do want to say that it feels very specific, that message. So maybe it only speaks to one of you out there, but it could just be talking about money or like some sort of physical object or possession. But this can also be something abstract as well. So it can even be, you know, who owns the rights to an idea, or some sort of copyrights to a design, or you know, anything like that really. So yeah, it just feels like you have experienced some sort of a more challenging situation regarding ownership or possession or property of some kind. Now, we also have this knowledge and Page of Swords. And really what this is telling me is that very generally or very broadly, in 2025, you have done a lot of researching, a lot of studying, a lot of digging deep into some sort of information. The Page of Swords is just such a perfect combination for this card because it is this inquisitive and curious sort of energy that is kind of inexperienced. So most likely this knowledge that you have gained is regarding something or some sort of topic that you are not very well versed at or in. I don't know what the right what the right expression is here. But yeah, it feels like you have really dug quite deep into something, or maybe for some of you, it's not even that you have gone that in depth into like one specific topic or theme, but that you have simply gotten smarter. So maybe you have taken certain courses or gone through certain classes or something like that. Maybe some of you have gone back to school, or maybe some of you are actually in university or in some sort of classes right now. Maybe some of you are going through some sort of training at work so that you could specialize in a more of a concrete direction, or just get better at what it is that you are currently doing. Or maybe you just have to kind of refresh your knowledge because of the sort of line of work that you are in. But yeah, it just feels like you have been rather focused on learning and expanding your mind and getting more knowledgeable at something. We also have this interesting combo here with injustice and strength. It feels like there has been a situation that you have experienced in 2025 that really tested your reserves of energy, or where you have really had to dig deep in order not to lash out or let your emotions get the best of you because of something just being totally unfair, or where someone like did you wrong in some sense, or where maybe someone got away with something that they weren't supposed to get away with. Maybe this is more of a specific message, but for some of you, if you have been in an actual lawsuit or in some sort of legal battle with another party, and maybe even though you know that they were in the wrong, they got away with it, or the court ruled in their favor or something like that. So it feels like you have just had to deal with all of these emotions of like anger and resentment and frustration and disappointment and all of those on your own, and sort of how like really get over that that whole experience. So yeah, it feels like your faith has been tested. Like again, this may be more of a specific message, but I feel like someone may have like misused their power somehow, or taken advantage of some sort of position that they were given. Yeah, I don't know. Again, it feels like it may be more of a specific message, but in any case, just coming back to this more broad scenario here, it feels like there has been a situation where you have gone through a really disheartening solution, or okay, I totally blanked and I completely lost my train of thought, but just to wrap up what I'm trying to say here, it feels like in 2025, you have experienced something that wasn't true or wasn't right, wasn't fair, and you have had to deal with the aftermath of those emotions. Now, we also have this pair over here with Death and Two of Coins. And I don't actually feel that this death card is talking about an actual or like physical death of someone, even though obviously this is a general reading, so maybe that is the case for some of you. And if it is the case, I am so sorry, and my true condolences to you. But as I said, it doesn't feel this specific or this like literal. It actually feels like there has been a loss of something. And this loss has brought about a time of instability or insecurity for you, because this Two of Coins is telling me that you have had to really like juggle or sort of make things work during a rather turbulent time. And I do feel that it is because of the loss of something. So I don't know, maybe this, for some of you, maybe you lost your job, maybe your salary was reduced, or maybe you used to have some sort of like system in place or some sort of support thing that you could rely on, and maybe that isn't there anymore, or it feels like there was some sort of loss here and it had a lot of meaning to you. So it feels like a very impactful situation that occurred and that has deeply affected how your life looks like now, or how you function day to day now. So it feels like there has been this quite dramatic shift in some regard of your life. And the last pair that we have is Rescue and this Six of Swords that is coming out in reverse. Now, the interesting thing that I feel here is that with this Rescue, it looks like there may have been an offer of some kind, or someone may have like reached out to you or offered to help you out in some sense. But with the Six of Swords in reverse, it feels like you turned it down, or that it wasn't the sort of help that you wanted, so you didn't really do anything with it, or it feels like it's a lackluster sort of offer, because the Six of Swords is telling me that you chose not to go down that road or follow through with whatever this offer was. You may have gone through a situation where something was presented to you, something that was meant to be help or support, but it didn't come through in the right way, or in the way that you really needed. And so, yeah, it feels like you may have turned something down here. Again, because this is a general reading, I'm not sure that all of these messages are going to resonate for all of you. But if these messages, if they did sound familiar to you, or at least you resonated with some of them, then it is a really good indication that this is your pile. So keep watching, because now we get to the part where we look at the rest of 2025 for you. So again, we're going to be doing kind of the same setup here. We're going to get some oracle cards first that are going to give us the main or the most significant themes or events of the rest of 2025. And then we're going to be opening those up with some tarot cards. So let's see what we get. Pile number 2. I was not planning on taking this many cards, but I mean, clearly all of them wanted to come out, so here we are. But let's get straight into it. So we have this first combo here with the Owl and the Ten of Wands. The thing that I'm feeling here is that for during the rest of 2025, what you are going to experience is being given more responsibility or leveling up in some way. I do feel that this owl energy is talking about you, and how all of this knowledge that you have been gathering is somehow going to be put into use, or you are going to be put in a position where you are actually going to have to start practicing it, or like you, as a result of this new knowledge or this expanded knowledge, you now have the capacity to take on more, or to go into it more deeply, or start doing things on the next level, so to say. But it definitely feels like being given more authority, being given more responsibility. Now, because of the Ten of Wands, I do want to say, not to sugarcoat things and make it sound like it's, all rainbows and butterflies and that, because obviously, life is not that. This Ten of Wands is telling me that it is going to be more work as well, but I also feel like you are able to handle it, especially because of this owl energy. Like, there is something very capable and very up to the task that I feel about this energy. So obviously you are going to be given what you can handle, but it is going to be a lot of work. It's going to be a lot of commitment, but I feel like you are ready for it. And I feel like it's also something that you kind of know or knew about when you started doing these courses or taking these classes or whatever. It feels like it's something that you are sort of prepared for. Now, let's also talk about this other card, because We have this card here, which obviously you can kind of tell from the image is one of hardship and strife, but this seems to be talking about the sort of energy that you are in right now. So it's the sort of situation that we kind of ended the reading with regarding what you have already experienced. So it feels like this hardship or these unstable times, this is what is going to change, because we have the Knight of Wands, the Six of Cups, and Temperance coming out. And these three cards are telling me, especially with the Knight of Wands, for some reason I do feel that this is someone else. It feels like it is, like it's coming in as a way to like help you out of the situation, or to transmute the situation so that you could turn things around. This Knight of Wands, they don't have to be male by any means, but it is a very optimistic sort of energy. Someone who is not afraid to take risks. They may be younger than you. This person who comes in to help, or this opportunity that is presented to you, it may come through someone that is younger than you, or is just somewhat more childlike or youthful, like regardless of what the age actually is. And with the Six of Cups, it could even be someone that you have known for a long time, or that you used to be close with at one point. Maybe you even grew up with this person, or it feels like this opportunity is coming through a person that you trust, or that you feel a certain affection towards. And I'm not talking about like romantic affection, but you just seem to have some sort of like some sort of fondness towards this person. And yeah, it feels like you have some sort of history together, like you know each other from way back when. So it's not like this stranger coming in to save the day. It feels like there is some sort of help or assistance or advice or support or something like that coming through a person that you know. And with this Temperance, it just feels like they are going to help to sort of turn the situation around. And also because of this Temperance card here, it does seem like this is something that is like divinely orchestrated. This feels like a change in energies that is coming about because it's sort of meant to happen. So yeah, I feel like it's really a really sort of positive turn of events here. And again, yeah, I do feel that there is a connection between this energy over here and this loss energy that brought about these like unstable or uncertain times. Now, I also love this card over here, because this is talking about hope or faith sort of returning, and some sort of lighter prospect coming about. Maybe even, you know, coming to a place where you start dreaming again, or where you start seeing certain possibilities open up that you maybe were sort of close to before. And we also have the Hierophant, the Two of Swords, and the Seven of Coins. It does seem like there is some sort of shift that is happening in your beliefs, or like there is some reassurance or a sense of safety that is returning because of how you see things or what you believe to be true. This Two of Swords and the Seven of Coins is also telling me that this hope is returning, not as a result of you like going after and doing something, but it seems to be more of a quiet and gradual sort of process that happens. So it could very well be that, you know, maybe you hear something. Maybe this Hierophant energy is also talking about some sort of mentor or someone who may like motivate you, or and I mean, it doesn't even have to be someone that you actively seek out. It could be something that you hear whilst you are, I don't know, watching a YouTube video, or whilst you are reading a book, or when maybe you happen to hear something over the radio if you listen to the radio, or it could be something that you just sort of stumble upon. But it does seem like this faith or hope or something reassuring like that is going to be coming through some sort of external source, I feel like, and that is going to be bringing about this quiet shift or this reflection in you. And again, as I said, this Two of Swords and the Seven of Coins is making me feel that this is not some sort of like specific moment that this whole thing happens. It feels like it's something that may, again, happen gradually or over time, and may kind of happen quietly or without you even necessarily being aware of it or doing anything. Because again, the Two of Swords is also quite a non-moving energy. Interesting energy, this one. But again, it feels like there is a shift in how hopeful you feel, or what you believe to be possible for you. So something about your beliefs or your view of things is going to start shifting. Now, again, what I find super interesting is that we are getting this card here with this little boat, because we got actually like two boats with the rescue card. There is a little boat over here at the back of this card, and also obviously the Six of Swords is about a boat as well. So this card seems to me to be talking about this whole rescue message, or you being able to move along or actually physically make some changes regarding this position that you felt quite stuck in. And with the Eight of Coins being here too, it does seem like you are going to like focus your efforts on something, and it feels like it's some sort of more concrete or focused goal or direction. And with the Eight of Coins, it feels like it's something that you really want to double down on, or something that you want to put your energy into, and something that you believe to bring you rewards or yield some sort of results down the line. So it feels like it's something meaningful, and something, again, that you feel to be worthy of that energy, or again, this input of resources. Whether this is some sort of again, opportunity that is presented to you that you do actually accept. Maybe this Eight of Coins could also indicate that for some of you, this is very literally a work offer that you decide to accept and start working on that. But to kind of zoom out, it feels like it's something that has more promise to it, and something that you seem to want to do kind of long term, or that you seem to just believe in or have faith in. Whereas this thing, whatever this thing was, this offer or this solution that was presented to you that you turned down, this felt like it wasn't actually solid, or maybe it wasn't long lasting, or maybe it would have required you to give something up that you didn't want to give up. With this Eight of Coins, this feels much more solid, or much more of a safe option for some reason. So yeah, I love that we are getting all of these cards that are talking about like movement ahead, or finding solutions, and rediscovering hope and things like that. And I most of all love that we are ending the reading with this card over here, which flew out so gracefully as well. I don't know whether you saw it. Well, most likely you saw it. But yeah, this is the card of hope. This is the card of luck, and sort of these lucky little breaks or serendipitous events coming about. So I don't think that this is some sort of huge, big thing that you experience, but this feels like it's going to be these little instances, these little situations where you kind of feel that that things are not as hard, that you don't have to force your way through things, or that you don't have to push against the current, that sort of things start flowing more easily or going in your favor more easily. So this is a really sort of nice, cute, sweet energy. And the cards that are opening this card up are the King of Cups, the Moon in reverse, the Empress in reverse, and the Page of Pentacles. So with this King of Cups, this seems to talk about the energy of feeling more at peace, feeling more calm and settled. like a complete opposite energy of the Two of Coins, where things were all sort of up in the air and very, very unsteady. This feels like a much more solid and sort of set way of being, and especially when it comes to how you feel. So feeling a lot more at peace, feeling a lot more secure and confident as well, especially in yourself, and sort of trusting that like things are going the way that they need to go. For some reason, again, like don't get stuck in the gender here. For some reason, I just feel like you're coming through in a very masculine sort of energy. And it doesn't indicate gender in any way. It just feels like you are stepping more into this proactive and in control energy. Now we also have the Moon and the Empress that are both coming out in reverse. And this just feels like it's talking about this change in coming out of the, again, coming out of this haze, coming out of this confusion and fear, and not really being sure what is going on, what is happening. Again, feeling like unsettled and unstable. And with the Empress coming out in reverse, it again feels like it's, you know, it's a change in how things haven't really gone your way, or how things haven't manifested. They haven't yielded the results that you had hoped for. Again, it feels like it's tied to this sort of more of a difficult time that you may have experienced. So it feels like there is a turnaround in that sort of energy, because we also have this Page of Pentacles here. And the Page of Pentacles is telling me that there is some sort of solution, or again, these little moments, these little positive breakthroughs that occur, or these little instances where you just feel supported or secure enough to kind of move ahead with this newfound direction or goal or whatever it is. Because the Page of Pentacles is also, you know, an energy of being really invested and being willing to plant certain seeds and really see them grow, see them thrive. And for some reason, I feel a connection with this Eight of Coins. So it does feel like whatever this direction is, or this thing that you start working on, or this offer that you accept, again, you know, however this resonates for you, it does seem to really, again, like spark some willingness in you to take this thing seriously, or to really invest yourself into this thing and sort of move towards it with a long-term vision in mind. So yeah, and again, like the Page of Pentacles is making me think that there are going to be these little moments, or these little solutions or opportunities that are going to be presented to you, where you can kind of see things moving along, you know, or at least where you know how to go about things, or what sort of moves you need to make, or something like that. Anyway, those were the messages, pile number 2. Hopefully you got something useful or insightful out of them. But as the last part of the reading, before we read this message here, we are also going to throw some astro dice. And these astro dice are going to be the final, most important sort of focal point that Spirit wants you to focus on. So yeah, what is the most important thing that Spirit wants you to pull your focus towards? So let's see, this is kind of like a advice from Spirit. Okay, interesting. We have the 11th house, Neptune, and Gemini. Really, the message that I'm feeling here with all 3 of these astro dice put together is that Spirit really wants you to broaden your mind and stay curious. I feel like that is the most important thing here, because I want to start off with the Gemini. With this Gemini energy coming through, okay, sorry, these astro dice, they don't really want to focus for some reason. This is saying that Spirit wants you to stay curious, stay really interested in things that do spark something in you, you know? There seems to be something that you are very invested in, or just something that is stirring you kind of up, or that you want to know more about, or that you want to get more invested in. And with this Gemini energy, Spirit is saying that it's a very good thing to pursue even more, and to keep being inquisitive, to keep wanting to find out and to broaden your mind even more. We also have this Neptune or Neptunian energy coming through here too. Let's see if this one focuses. Nope. Okay. So so with this Neptunian energy coming through, Neptune is a very nebulous sort of energy. It's a very dreamy and kind of all over the place energy, where there are no limits, there are no barriers, there are no borders to anything. And so this to me speaks of imagination and being as imaginative and sort of broad as you possibly can, and dreaming really, really big. And the reason why I say dreaming is also because of this 11th house influence here. So it does seem like 11th house being also the house of wishes and sort of the thing that you aspire to, keeping that at the forefront, and also possibly keeping in mind the sort of network or connections that you have, and keeping good relations with the people that you know, or with the groups that you belong to, or something like that. I feel like that could also be of great use to you, and just, again, being inquisitive, being interested in other people, and wanting to find out more, and wanting to absorb even more information. All of that seems to really help you, and really open your mind up to what sort of possibilities are around you. And I do feel that, especially because of this 11th house and Gemini, that a lot of very important offers or possibilities are going to come through the people that you know, and the sort of connections and relationships that you have with those people. So anyway, that is that. Let's close the reading out with the message that is on the card that you chose. So let's see. We have birth. Another gateway appears in view. New life is unfolding with blessings to you. Oh my goodness, ain't that the truth? I mean, we had so many cards, so many of these oracle cards that were talking about what is yet to come in 2025 for you, that were all talking about things turning around for the better, and sort of more opportunities coming your way, more of these little lucky breaks or little lucky instances where things just sort of start easing up a bit and bringing you more hope. It does seem like, as some sort of more difficult change has come about for you in the sort of previous part of 2025, it feels like there is something new that is bringing, or that is being brought about for you, you know. And it makes a lot of sense, because obviously these endings and beginnings, they go hand in hand. There is a sort of divine balance at play here, and you know, in life in general. So you have quite a lot to look forward to here. And even though I do want to say as well, I don't feel like everything is going to like magically work out for you in 2025, but I do feel that things are definitely starting to go in the right direction, and you are going to sort of start seeing things start happening, and these new steps are being taken, or things that you yourself are initiating. I feel like it's going to have like maybe an even bigger impact, or the bigger results is something that you're going to see in 2026 and maybe even onward. But it feels like something is beginning in the sort of the rest of 2025, or in the latter part of 2025. Anyway, I'm gonna end it here, pile number 2. I hope that these messages spoke to you, that they made sense to you, that they gave you something useful. If you are still here, by the way, please leave me a little island emoji. Yeah, leave me a little island. I hope there is an island emoji. If there isn't, you can also leave me a boat. But I hope that there is an island emoji. Anyway, yeah, if you leave that in the comment section, then I know that you watched this thing all the way through, that you are the real deal. And I absolutely love connecting with you in the comment section. So I truly hope to see you there. But thank you so much for being here and sticking it out till the end. I am wishing you all the best. And as always, I hope to see you back on this channel next Friday for some more messages, insight, and fun. But in the meantime, please take care of yourselves. Bye-bye. Hello and welcome to your reading, pile number 3. My name is Helen and I am so grateful that you have chosen to spend this time with me and watch this reading. So thank you so much for being here, and also thank you for any support that you have shown me or this channel. I truly appreciate it. But let's get straight to the reading. Now, to really talk you through what is happening here, if you are not new on my channel, you already know how we do things over here. And the way that I usually do things is that I look at the card that you chose and I intuitively feel my way through it, and then we dig into the pre-prepared oracle cards, which are going to give us more details about what is going on with you right now. But today we are doing things differently because this card actually has a message on the other side of it, and we are going to be looking at that message at the very end of the reading. So this is going to be a wrap-up message from Spirit for you. But yeah, these pre-prepared oracle cards though, we are going to look at those right now. So these cards are going to tell us about the 2025 that you have had up till now. So there are going to be the main sort of keywords or events or situations that you are most likely to have experienced up to now in 2025. So as you listen to these messages, it should be fairly easy for you to recognize whether you resonate with this pile or not. So let's see what we have. We have Friendly Creature and the 8 of Wands. The Perfect Sandwich and the King of Swords. High Drama and the Page of Pentacles. Storm and the 3 of Swords. And Mischief and the Star. Okay, pile number 3. Let's start from the beginning. So we have Friendly Creature with the 8 of Wands. And these two cards are giving me the feeling that some of you, I know this is a very specific message, but some of you in 2025, you may have taken a dog or some sort of pet, something that you have potentially been wanting for a long time, but it feels like you finally took the plunge this year and went for it. So you actually took action on it. For others of you, I also got a message that you may have made a friend online, or there could have been some sort of connection that you established over the internet, or like a long distance sort of thing where maybe you made a friend that you haven't actually ever met in real life, but that you established some sort of connection online. So yeah, but these are definitely more of a specific messages. In general, I feel like some sort of friend or some sort of person that you knew from before already, it feels like the relationship sort of escalated or moved up a notch. I'm not saying that this has to be romantic or anything like that in any sense. It just feels like there may be more of a frequent connection or more of a frequent conversation between you two now, or there is it feels like there's a lot more back and forth, and someone that you have gotten a lot more close with this year, or just established more of a deep connection with someone that was maybe just an acquaintance before, or someone that you just used to hang out with, but it feels like now they may be a really good friend, or maybe even a best friend, or a true confidant or something like that. Now, we also have the Perfect Sandwich and King of Swords. And for some reason, this combination is giving me the feeling of having extremely high demands. It could be that this King of Swords is someone else, that they are somewhat of an authority figure maybe, or someone that you look up to, or someone that you have to answer to even. This could also be a father figure to you, or a just a paternal figure or maternal figure even, you know, it doesn't really have to be male specifically, even though this is a king energy. This is just someone who has strict and highly regulated or a very sort of serious energy about them. This is someone who means business, and this is someone that you do not want to cross. Maybe you even have slight fear of this person. There is definitely like respect that you feel towards this person, but it feels like this year there may have been a situation where this person demanded a lot of you, or maybe set even some really tough to live up to sort of expectations on you. Yeah, I don't know why, but I feel a sense of disappointment from this King of Swords, or it almost feels like no matter how much you do or how much you have put in effort, it feels like it's never enough. So, you know, this can be a boss of some kind as well, or just someone that you are trying to impress, and it feels like it's really, really difficult to do that. And maybe this year you have felt especially pressured by this person to excel or to perform or fulfill some sort of like dreams of theirs, or some sort of standards. Regardless of who this King of Swords is specifically in your life, it does seem to be a source of like stress for you, I want to say, or at the very least pressure. So this energy just feels like it's something that has been getting stronger this year, or that you feel even more so than you maybe have in the past, and it has definitely been more of a strongly felt presence, or something that is more noticeable or more noteworthy this year, because it's obviously coming out as one of the sort of themes or keywords of the year for you. So you should know who this is really my point. Now, we also have High Drama and Page of Pentacles. And what I was feeling with these two cards as I looked at them is that it feels like there has been some sort of situation that was really minor, something that was really like, I almost want to say insignificant, but that was blown out of proportion, and that just grew into this huge big thing. So, you know, it doesn't have to be a situation or a scandal now, but it feels like there was some sort of situation that really affected you, and that came about from like, I almost want to say nothing really, but that there was some sort of instance. Maybe this is more of a specific message, but for some of you, I do feel that there is something about someone's attention, or how someone paid attention to you, or maybe you paid attention to someone else, or something like there's something about attention that has caused this drama to come about, or this like blown out of proportion sort of reaction from someone. But in any case, it just feels like this Page of Pentacles is really just a really minor, like a very, very silly little thing. And for some reason, it became this huge big scandal, or huge big conflict, or falling out, or something like that. And again, it may not actually be an issue now, but it definitely seems to have shaken up some sort of dynamic or connection between you and someone else. Or maybe even, it could even be that this drama, for some of you, had nothing to do with you, but that you were brought into it, or you were dragged into it for whatever reason. So yeah, definitely feels like kind of a weird energy there. We also have this Storm and Three of Swords. And this combination is, again, it's kind of, it may actually be tied to this previous energy. So it may have led to some sort of falling out, or some sort of like really big emotions coming to play. Maybe someone feels like they were betrayed, whether this is you or whether this is someone else. But it does feel like you have experienced some sort of bigger falling out, some sort of bigger conflict. It could be that someone was truly heartbroken here, or if it wasn't necessarily heartbreak as such, it feels like someone was deeply insulted, or maybe someone's pride was deeply cut as well. But in any case, it feels like there are some massively overblown emotions at play here. So again, whether this is you or whether this is someone else or whether this is the dynamic between you, it does seem like some sort of a bigger falling out. And again, it may very well be tied to this high drama situation. So maybe this situation led to someone breaking up, or just a connection or friendship like breaking down. But obviously it may not be quite as dramatic for all of you. It just feels like there was something that was kind of damaged or broken beyond repair for some of you. And it could be something that you are still sort of dealing with, or that you are trying to come to terms with. Maybe you are still dealing with the aftermath or whatever this stormy situation was. Now, the last combo here is Mischief and the Star. With these two cards, it feels like there may have been something that was exposed, something private or something that was intended to be kept secret. But I also feel, as another scenario, that this could also talk about some sort of secret wish or secret hope that you have, or that came about, that you sort of developed this year. Obviously, the Star card is talking about something that you are hoping for or wishing for, something that you really want or yearn for. But with Mischief, it feels like there is something taboo about it, or something that you may not feel ready to share with others, or there could be something about it that makes you feel ashamed, like it's best kept secret or something like that. So yeah, I don't know, for some of you, I feel like this thing that was exposed could have to do, again, there seems to be this like bigger theme. All of these energies seem to kind of like merge into one another, at least these three cards, that's what I feel. But even if the last card here is not necessarily tied with these previous messages for you, then it just feels like you may have started developing a desire of some sort that you feel like you shouldn't have, or again, that there is something taboo about it. But yeah, I feel like there is something that you maybe weren't expecting to get a craving or a yearning towards, you know. So I'm just going to leave it there. And I hope that something from these messages spoke to you. If you recognized some of these instances or some of these energies as the things that you have experienced in 2025 so far, then this is a very good indication that this is your reading. And definitely stay tuned for these oracle cards, because we are now going to look at what will the rest of 2025 bring you. And again, we are going to look at the major or the most important themes or events, and we're going to open those up with some tarot cards after. So let's see what we have. So pile number 3, let's start from the beginning. We have this card with some emojis on it, as well as the Page of Cups. And this is telling me that during the rest of 2025, there is going to be more of these emotional instances that you experience. Now, the Page of Cups being here, this does make me feel like there could potentially be some sort of apology that is coming your way, especially because there was a lot of emphasis on some sort of blowout or falling out, conflict, that sort of energy being present here. So clearly it feels like these emotions, they haven't just disappeared, and someone could be coming your way to make amends or to try and smooth over this whole situation. But maybe this is more of a specific message, because I don't think this is talking about an apology for all of you, but just sort of more broadly, this feels like it's talking about certain sort of heartstrings being pulled, or where maybe you're emotions are being played at. So I do feel that Spirit is kind of urging you to be a bit cautious, or to be wary of certain sweet talking, or again, just people trying to play on your emotions, or trying to play on the more empathetic side of you, or the more sort of soft and sweet and forgiving side of you. The main message that I feel here is that this whole massive surge of energies and emotions that has come about as a result of this conflict or thing, it feels like it's you haven't seen the last of it. It feels like there is going to be some sort of continuity regarding it, or where that situation or that relationship or that dynamic is going to like still play somewhat of an important role during the rest of 2025 as well. But yeah, I feel like Spirit is urging you to like clearly have an open-minded attitude, and to not like shut down any attempts to make amends, or for someone to want to right their wrongs or something like that. But it feels like someone could play the victim card, or make themselves out to be somewhat of a pitiful person, but I'm not sure that it's coming from a truly genuine place. And also the reason why I say that is because I feel a very strong connection with this next card here. We have this like this gift or present coming out, as well as the Devil and the Moon in reverse. And again, because we are getting two major arcana cards opening this card up, it does feel like kind of a heavy hitter to me. Again, I feel a continuity between this cup that the Page of Cups is having, and this gift that is here. So it feels like there could be some sort of offer made, but because of the Devil influence here, especially with the Moon in reverse, it feels like it's not coming from a genuine sort of place. Like the intentions behind it are somewhat self-serving, or like there is this double or hidden motive or agenda behind this gesture or behind this action. So again, it feels like someone could try and win favor with you, and they may do that so that they could establish some sort of control over the situation or the connection. And again, so that they could, I want to say manipulate the situation. And with the Moon in reverse, it could very well be the case that it's coming from a place of fear, like the fear of losing you, or the fear of losing this dynamic that exists, or something like that. But again, I don't really like the energy present here, and I mean, I don't want you to like freak out or get overly scared or anything, because I don't think that you are going to be very easily fooled by this. But just be mindful that especially if it's the person that you had the falling out with, if they like offer to give you something, or they want to do this great big gesture of some kind, or maybe even again quite literally gift you something that is very extravagant, or like a really expensive sort of thing, again, just be wary, be mindful. Sorry about that. I had to stop filming for a while or just for a second, because I thought there was someone at the door or something. Anyway, so as I was saying, be mindful of like these huge, extravagant gift givings or gestures, because again, there seems to be some sort of hidden agenda there. Now let's move on, and we also have these two cards coming out over here. I actually really like this combo because it's telling me that there is some sort of situation that you have felt kind of stuck in, or like there isn't really a way out, and that has potentially caused you a lot of stress or a lot of anxiety because of this Nine of Swords here. With it coming out in reverse, it's telling me that you are going to be able to break out of this like situation, or at least start seeing a way out. Like this way of thinking about the situation that feels like it is stuck, like it's so unmovable, like there is no way out. It feels like you are starting to see things kind of open up, or at least start seeing things in less dire colors. I see you realizing that things are not actually as stuck or as drastic as you may have thought that they were. And this to me feels like somewhat of an illumination moment for some reason, like you suddenly realize what the truth is, or what you have been missing all along, or what has been in front of you all along. And it's almost like you suddenly realize that you could just simply go about the situation in a whole other way. For others of you, I feel like there is something that you almost regret or feel a very sort of deep disappointment regarding, because you may have this feeling about something as if it has been a wasted effort or wasted time or something like that. But I feel like, again, like there's something changing about the way that you see this thing. So instead of feeling like you are boxed in or restricted by this thing, or like this whole thing was for nothing, you seem to come to some sort of realization, or some sort of clarity about this whole situation that has been like plaguing you, or that feels like it has been for nothing. But yeah, more broadly, regardless of what this thing is specifically, and I feel like you know what this is, because this is some sort of situation that you have felt boxed in by for quite some time, or where you have felt like things are always going to be that way, and they are never going to change. They are never going to be different. There is something about that situation changing, or you starting to, again, see the opportunity, or see a way out of that. At least it's not going to make you feel as hopeless anymore because of this Nine of Swords in reverse. I really, really, really like this Nine of Swords in reverse energy. It feels extremely liberating to me, like a breath of fresh air. And I love these next two cards even more so because we have this Phoenix and the Six of Wands. And to me, this feels like a massive rebirth. So again, there could be a tie between, or like a connection between these two cards, between the stuck energy that you are moving out of and this Phoenix rising sort of energy. Because with the Six of Wands here too, it feels like you are going to be victorious in some aspect, coming back to life, or feeling like you are revitalized, feeling like you have the courage, like you have the stamina, like you have the energy to really like go out there and fight for what it is that you want and come out of it on top. Maybe for some of you, again, if this is something that you are wanting, if this like falling out or conflict or something is something that you want to mend or remedy or something like that, it could also talk about the possibility of that being the case. So if you want the connection to sort of come back together or be mended again, and I'm not really talking about like a romantic like exes thing here. I mean, maybe for some of you that is the case, but I do have to say, honestly, I'm not really feeling that much of a romantic energy here. There aren't really any like love or romance cards coming out, so it doesn't seem to be that sort of connection. But in any case, if it's simply a friendship, like let's say it's a friendship, this feels like a strengthening of that connection, if that's something that you want, like this connection being reborn or re-established. But I feel like on better terms, or things turning around in a way that really like pleases you or makes you happy in some regard. Because the Six of Wands, again, in any case, is a card of victory and a card of success and recognition. So it does seem like if that relationship, again, just giving you an example, if that relationship is being fixed for you, like if that's the case for you, then it definitely seems like it's going to be on your terms or how you wish things to be moving forward. So it feels like you have some sort of say-so or some sort of authority when it comes to that. But again, I'm just giving you this example of the relationship because this whole energy can talk about something completely different as well. And it can simply talk about you sort of feeling this surge of energy, feeling this surge of fire and passion and drive, and really going out there or going after something that you truly want. Now, what I also feel here though is this last card here is making me feel that there is going to be a solidifying of some sort, whether this is happening inside of you or whether this is happening between you and someone else. This just feels like, yeah, like things becoming more solid, more grounded, more rooted. And the reason also why I feel like this could once again talk about this connection is because we have the Five of Swords and we also got the Tower that came out. So both of these cards are talking about some sort of like conflict or again, misunderstanding, falling out, that sort of energy. It's everything to do with the Five of Swords. Like that's the energy of the Five of Swords. And with the Tower, again, this is that storm energy, right? So it feels like whatever this storm was, it's something that like you are going to experience a settling of energies when it comes to that. And I also feel like there is some sort of understanding that you experience or that you gain as a result of this whole commotion or this whole blow up or falling out thing that occurred, or this conflict, because we also have the Hierophant and Judgment. So you are getting some quite heavy hitting major arcana cards here, and it does seem like, because again with Judgment there is another energy of rebirth or awakening or some sort of renewal that is happening. And with the Hierophant, again, this seems to talk about some sort of solidifying or strengthening, you know, that I even want to say like a deepening of a bond happening. This may have something to do with, like, again, this connection and with this person, but it can also be with a completely different person or with other relationships in the future. Because I feel like this storm, this whole conflict that we have been talking about, it feels like it has taught you so much. And I feel like there are certain realizations, certain like massive breakthroughs that you are going to get during the rest of 2025, where it sort of changes how you see things. It may even impact on a bigger scale how you see relationships, how you act in relation to other people, how you behave or how you conduct yourself, or what sort of expectations you have in future relations. Again, it doesn't have to be like a romantic sort of context. It can be any sort of contexts between you and other people. There is some sort of understanding, some sort of realizations, and possibly like realizing what you need, or realizing what are non-negotiables for you, what are true values for you in relationships. And again, that seems to be solidifying here. Yeah, that is really all I have, pile number 3. Hopefully these messages made sense to you, and hopefully they were of some value to you. But before we close the reading out with this message that is on the other side of this card that you chose, we are going to throw some astro dice as well. And these are going to be kind of like advice from Spirit, because they are going to give us the most important point of focus that Spirit wants you to home in on for the rest of 2025. So let's see. Wow. Okay. Interesting. We have the 8th house. We also have, oh, sorry, that was unintentional. We have the 8th house, we have Venus, and we have Aquarius. Okay, so I do feel like the general message here is to be really conscious of your emotional investment, and especially when it comes to intimacy or being very vulnerable, or how much of yourself you reveal, because we have this 8th house that is coming out over here. Okay, sorry, these astro these dice just don't want to focus for whatever reason. I got them to focus perfectly well in group number 1, but I haven't been able to get them to focus for pile 2 and pile 3. So anyway, the 8th house has everything to do with like taboo and hidden and mysterious energies, things that are maybe a bit difficult to look at as well. And also the 8th house is very much other people focused, because it is the 2nd house from the 7th house, which represents the connections, the one-on-one relationships that we have. And so there is this notion of needing to look at or address the level of intimacy that you have, or how you express intimacy, how you express closeness, and what are some of the more like hidden or taboo or difficult aspects that you don't want to look at, especially when it comes to relationships and how you deal with other people, because we also have Venus coming out, and Venus being the planet of pleasure, love, sex, affection, beauty, art, all of that. It's clear that there is something about how you relate to other people, how you express emotion, how you express love, and again, obviously, this whole notion of intimacy and being vulnerable, establishing some sort of true deep connection with others, that seems to be the sort of the focal point here. But the really interesting thing here is that we also have Aquarius coming out, and Aquarius, being an air sign, is notoriously sort of detached and somewhat aloof, and being all this like close and very like lovey-dovey or too emotional and all of that, it doesn't really vibe too well with the Aquarian archetype. For some reason, I'm being drawn back to this mischief and the star combo that we had at the beginning here, because the whole energy or the whole message of having some sort of secret desire cropping up, or something that you feel a pull towards, some sort of wish that you maybe have discovered, but that you feel is taboo in some sense, or something about that seems to be tied to what we are talking about here, or what these astro dice are talking about as well. I feel like there is some sort of need to be like rational about these desires, or these again, the way that you express your emotions, or the way that you express intimacy or experience intimacy. But with Aquarius, there also seems to be the need to potentially think outside of the box, or break out of some sort of mold or boxes that you feel that you need to exist in. So yeah, hopefully that made sense. Pile number 3. I do hope that it made sense to someone out there. But anyway, let's close the reading out with the message that is on the other side of this card. Let's see what we have. Draw down the moon. The forest nymphs dance in sheer delight, singing soft songs. Find us in the wild. Good night. Okay, so yeah, this is definitely more of a quirky message, or I'm not really even sure what it's supposed to mean. I do have to be honest here, like some of the messages on these cards, they don't really make a lot of sense, or they are, I feel like they are simply put there to rhyme, or, you know, I don't know what the author was thinking. But anyway, the message that I'm feeling here, especially because we just finished talking about the 8th house and Aquarius and all of that, I do feel like there is some sort of hint at needing to look into the darkness, needing to look at things that are more so hidden beneath the surface, or that are like calling out to you from places that are not so obvious, that are not so conscious, you know, especially with the message of like forest nymphs calling out to you or asking you to find them in the wild. Like, yeah, it's giving me the feeling of needing to like break out of the usual, of the norm, and just kind of allow your eccentricity to roam freely. Again, we had Aquarius here too, so I almost want to say, like, Spirit is asking you to let your freak flag fly, you know, to embrace some of these unexpected or maybe somewhat even confusing desires or interests to crop up and to really like get to know them, to try and understand them, rather than maybe feeling ashamed or not wanting to look at those. I don't know, maybe this is more of a specific message again, I'm not sure, but yeah. Anyway, pile number 3, I'm going to wrap this reading up because I just feel like I'm starting to drift here. So I hope that this reading spoke to you. I hope that the message at the end of this card that didn't make sense to me, that it made sense to someone, and yeah, that you had fun watching these messages. Hopefully that's the case, because this reading was meant to be fun, and that was the intention at least. But if you are here, by the way, if you watched this thing all the way through, you made it to the end, let me see. Oh, maybe there is a sandwich. Yeah, maybe there is a sandwich emoji. I hope that there is. So please leave me a sandwich emoji in the comment section so that I would know that you watched this thing all the way through, that you made it here, and yeah, that you are the real deal. I absolutely love connecting with you in the comment section and seeing who all of you are. So yeah, I would love to see you there. But anyway, thank you so much. And as always, I hope to see you back on this channel next Friday for some more messages, insight, and fun. But in the meantime, please take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.